What's up, everybody? I think the show has begun. How's it going? My name is MrHurriicane, and we're playing some Madden 19 here today with the Tennessee Titans Fantasy Draft franchise. We continue on with the 7-2-1 Titans. How's everyone doing today? Yeah, I said I'd be a little bit late here. I was doing some delay stuff. I thought it was good. I checked it one more time, and it was a little bit off, so I had to fix it. Oh yeah, I had to switch up the shirt today because I keep getting asked if I'm wearing the same shirt because I have a bunch that look alike. And so I decided that today there would be no confusion. None whatsoever. How's everyone doing here today? Playing some more football, talking some more football. It should be a really good time. You should have been slightly later to change into a different shirt. Oh, come on. Come on. Kane flying out to Hawaii? No. I'm just, I'm living in that mindset is all. So, we're going to play through a couple more games today. I might sim. I don't know if I want to. I know I want to keep playing this. Kind of like what we have going on here with the Titans. Did I choose my franchise team yet? No, but I'm getting a lot closer. Certainly closer. The poll on yesterday's video, I was really impressed with how tight it was. I put 5 teams in a poll, and you would have thought that maybe 1 or 2 would pull away. And yeah, there are some leaders. But there was a lot of interest for all 5 teams. Kane's wearing that to confirm it's Miami. I never thought about that. That'd be funny. I could do a little signing day thing. Order a hat for all those teams I was considering. Kane is about to coach in the Pro Bowl in Hawaii. Let's go. I would coach whatever squad to a victory in the Pro Bowl. Because the Pro Bowl is basically a game of Madden, if you think about it. Don't got to worry about like any of the same stuff. Like pass rush and whatnot. You can just call 4 verts. You can do whatever you gotta do. We're 7-2-1. I just want to jump into the next game now and get underway here. No, Aiden, I don't think I saw your video on yesterday's yet. I need to go through the comments on there. I saw the poll. I want to pull up that poll and get those results right now. It wasn't a poll for you to decide who I'm going to be using, but it was a poll for me to kind of just gauge interest in certain teams because there are so many teams I think would be fun. So I'm just looking for more influence, I guess. But in that video, I broke down the Cardinals, the Jets, the Dolphins, the Giants, and the Seahawks. And in that poll, there have been almost 3,000 votes. And the winner right now would be the Arizona Cardinals with 25% of the vote. Dolphins and Seahawks neck and neck with 20%. Giants at 19%, Jets at 13%. So, a lot of interest in the Cardinals from that one. Kane shirt qualification. Be comfortable, be blue. Yeah, that checks the boxes right there. It's a super long sales pitch on why Seattle is the best team. I will find it. I'm sure it won't be too hard to find if it's 5 paragraphs. The Texans might have the best uniforms in the league. I love these uniforms. I almost purchased the Steve Slayton jersey back in the day, the all red one. I was going to go with that. But then I procrastinated on it, and he ended up being a one-year wonder, so I saved myself there a little bit. JT Golden, thank you for the super chat. Kane streaming again. Yes, I definitely want to do more regular streaming here on the channel, whether it be things like this. I also thought about doing some streams that were a bit more geared around talking about fantasy football, because I do, you know, love talking about football, and I don't do a lot of it on the channel anymore. But I think in a streaming capacity, like, these chats end up turning into like a lot of fantasy football conversation anyway. So why not? Maybe do some streams actually built for it. Harold, thank you for the super chat. I know you probably get requests a lot, but I think the Jets are the best option. Hashtag gangrene. The thing that made me interested most in the Jets as we intercept the pass is that they don't have a superstar and their best player is at safety, Jamal Adams. So with a lot of teams that I use in franchise, they have a star player or two, someone you can really lean on. But in that series, there isn't like that great receiver, great running back, great pass rusher. As a matter of fact, they're weak at almost all those positions. So the Jets were definitely intriguing, as we're not going down until we get the first. Can I look at the Texans depth chart? Let's take a look. We are up against Jared Goff, Theo Riddick as their top back, DeAndre Hopkins, Tyrell Williams, Eric Decker, Tyler Eifert. Whoa, pretty inconsistent here along the offensive line, to say the least. Adoree Jackson. That feels like a team that missed out on a few selections. They don't have much star power. And Dalvin, nope. You think Jamal Adams is better than Leonard Williams? In terms of being a star, I think so. I'm not here to debate if he's a better safety than Leonard is a defensive lineman. But I think that when you think about a face of the franchise and whatnot, Jamal Adams is kind of that guy. We got the touchdown. I'm loving throwing those high passes this year. Like I said, last year I always hesitated because I know they put in target passing and they mapped the controls to be like high and lower on the same button, and you had to use the left stick to make it even more complex, and I just never really thought about it because I've always used precision passing, which is where you influence the direction of the throw with the left stick. And so I kind of would forget about high-low as well. But man, high can bail you out when you want to throw it into a risky situation but minimize the risk. Can you do an edge rusher career? I think it'd be super fun. But right now, I posted a video today on my second channel, and there's an issue in this game with the player-based camera. When you want to do a career mode, you should be in this camera right here. And you can't get this camera in career mode this year. So if you're a quarterback or a running back, yeah, you're fine because the game centers on you pretty much anyway. But if you want to play safety or receiver, you're going to be playing in a very off camera, and it's the reason why I quit doing player-based stuff years ago. And now we've come full circle, like 3-4 years later, where it's an issue again. And it completely caught me off guard. Why would I expect that? So now I'm not sure what I'm doing with career mode. Otherwise, defense was looking like a major possibility. I got on today to try out some defense. I was going to record a game with Tyrann Mathieu and maybe somebody else. But then I got in there and found the camera issue, and I'm like, wait a minute, this is serious. This is a problem. You can toggle your camera using the D-pad when you're in player-based, but it doesn't go to that view. I try with a couple different positions. I don't know what the reasoning is behind that or what happened. Ooh, we make a cut outside here. Antonio Brown, not down yet. And now he's down. Oh, broken ribs for Cam Wake. That's no good. We've stayed relatively injury-free in this series. Kane, you should play some Call of Duty games. I don't play much COD anymore. Every year I always get interested. I'm not sure if it's going to happen again this year. Got that. Nice job, Jimmy. The last COD I really enjoyed was actually Black Ops 3. I wasn't a fan of the booster jump pack CODs. Infinite Warfare and Advanced Warfare were not my favorites. But I like Black Ops 3 because the map design is really good. Treyarch makes way better maps than Sledgehammer and Infinity Ward at this point. And it was a lot of fun to play that game, even though I didn't enjoy all the features. I don't know about Black Ops 4, though. We'll see. I'm more interested in Battlefield. Nice. Do you think Josh Allen starts week 1 for the Bills? I think so, just because I don't think that A.J. McCarron's going to beat him out. Ben Allen had some good play in the first game. Yeah, I could do owner coach with autopilot and manually control the player, but then, like, I still wouldn't get the camera cuts post play. I wouldn't get the stat updates every game for my player. I wouldn't see my player in the locker room. It wouldn't be the same, and I don't think I'd like that as a compromise. Oh yeah, Nathan Peterman. I'm sure the defensive backs have absolutely loved training camp this year. A lot of potential INTs out there. We got a hand off. Dalvin Cook runs over a defender. What's the best offense in the NFL? In my opinion, it's the Steelers. Best offense in the NFL. Yeah, Steelers are a bit of a juggernaut. I think fully healthy, they're probably the team I fear most just because of having the best receiver and the best running back on the same team with good offensive linemen. Philly's up there, New England's up there too. I wouldn't put the Vikings quite that high because of Kirk Cousins being the new quarterback, and also their offensive line just isn't very good. So I can't give them the top spot. Nice. It was accurate, though. That's all I care about. Oh, man. These animal crackers are dry, which is, you know, kind of the point, I think. I need to stay hydrated. Second down and 10 here for Cam as we're going to get outside the pocket here. We're going to fire on the move, and that should have been picked off. I'm thankful it wasn't, though. JT, thank you for the super chat. You have two, actually. If you do a wide receiver career, one rule I usually use is only calling for passes when I'm the red route. It helps to make sure you don't get an unrealistic amount of targets. Yeah, when I was Matt Pierre in that series, I tried not to be unreasonable with how often I called for the ball. I liked how I handled the Matt Pierre series. Sometimes, you know, it was Matt's day to catch. Some days it wasn't. Sometimes you throw a touchdown to John Ross. That's life. Yeah, All-Pro is definitely getting a lot easier for me. Cameron Stein, who is your MIT, most improved team? Most improved, I'd probably have to go with the Chicago Bears because their offense last year was not very good. It was basically the Tariq Cohen show whenever that decided to show up. I mean, I think Trubisky had 7 touchdown passes as a rookie and played, 12, 13 games or something like that? I can't remember exactly. But they went from a team that basically had no weapons besides a rookie running back from a small school and then Jordan Howard. And now they've thrown in Allen Robinson, Taylor Gabriel, Anthony Miller's a player I like a ton. Trey Burton, I think, will come on strong for them. So just adding those 4 guys. And then James Daniels. They already had a pretty good interior, and they made it. The Bears have a chance to have the best interior in the NFL, I think, by adding James Daniels. That's 5 players there that go to that offense I think are going to make a big difference. I was holding L1 here. I didn't really get much of an assist when this was thrown over the head. He definitely stood still there. Not sure what that was all about. By the way, I saw that they're going to be doing an update that it limits that L1 like user or the CPU automatic control. So that's going to be a thing again. It looks like that's the way they want it to be, where you don't really get to have an assist like that. So I'll have to figure something out for franchise. That was the case for some of last year, and then they changed it, and now they've changed it back incomplete. CPU cannot complete passes on me the last couple streams. Kane was with the shirt. Don't you like it? I switched it up today for you, just for you. Third down and 10. Goff unloads, and the pass is punched away from Decker. Well played. How do you think the Ravens quarterback situation will end up? I wouldn't be surprised if we see Flacco's last hurrah, unless Jackson absolutely tears it up the rest of the way. If he puts on like a performance that you just can't ignore, then he'll start, I think. But if he's just decent or worse, I think we're going to get Flacco's last ride. And then when Flacco ultimately isn't good enough, then they can put in Lamar Jackson. It'll be like week 7 or earlier, and they'll be behind the Steelers. They'll make it interesting, fall short, and then next year they draft a wide receiver in the top 15. There you go. I do want to start trying some sliders, though. I talked about doing some slider testing streams, and I think that we'll do some of that this week. I want to see what Charter has going on. I know a lot of people have been pretty positive about some slight slider tweaks. Many are liking where All Madden is. I personally don't like All Madden very much, but I always play on it. Second down and 3. Oh, Cam got it there, AB. How long until EA patches the blocking AI so that zone runs are viable again? I don't think that we're going to see the AI dramatically improve by a patch. The one thing that comes to my mind is if the thresholds are just bad. Let's say that things are realistic, they play out the right way on higher levels. I think it's time to retool how they scale ratings. I've talked about this in like every stream for a week. From what I've seen, and I'm going to probably do a deeper analysis on this, but I feel that ball carrier vision, like 85 to 99 or higher ball carrier vision, is actually pretty good. It's just that low ball carrier vision is unrealistic and probably just needs to go. And so I want to find out, if that's the case, what's the scale they should use. I think that'd be a worthwhile project to spend a couple hours on, to take some players in practice mode with varying ball carrier visions and then change their visions and see how their results change as a result. I've got the science all figured out on how I want to do it. Will you play NBA 2K19? I might. I might have to try it out. I enjoyed playing some 2K18. We'll see how things are going on the channel when that drops. 17-0. Keep up the good work, bro. Thank you, Jared. Ramsey got suspended. What do you think about that? Well, I mean, now he doesn't have to participate in joint practices with the Vikings and travel to Minnesota for a preseason game, so it almost sounds like a reward. It's not like he's suspended for a real game. Yeah, ball carrier vision, I think, was an NCAA 14. There was also in that game a running back ability slider, and that controlled quite a bit. I'm not 100% on vision, but I know there was a running back ability slider. Which team will force the most fumbles? Which team will force the most interceptions and sacks? If I had to predict, nice play, I would go with the Vikings leading the league in sacks because they just have so many great options up front, adding Sheldon Richardson this year to play 3 technique. And then they've got some guys on the bench who can offer some juice as well. Then you got Hunter and Griffin and good blitzers and Harrison Smith and Anthony Barr. So I'd go with the Vikings. For interceptions, I wouldn't because the Mike Zimmer scheme doesn't really... The Vikings don't play to force turnovers. They play to make you go 3 and out. So the teams that I think would get the most interceptions, if I had to guess right now, I would go with... I have a team in mind. I'm just trying to think if there's a team I like more for INTs. Well, I like going with the Packers because they tend to play a very aggressive style of defense, but with the new defensive coordinator, Mike Pettin, I'm not exactly sure how aggressive they're going to be. And their secondary is pretty young, so maybe I shouldn't go with them. Underneath, that's a first down. I think for most INTs, I'm going to go with the Rams. With Aqib Talib and Marcus Peters, 2 of the best cornerbacks in terms of ball skills in the league. And then for most forced fumbles, intercepted, thank you very much. See, fumbles are kind of a more random stat. They're hard to predict. And nobody has Charles Tillman these days, so you can't just pick the team that has him. So I think I would go with either the Chargers or the Texans, just because of the pressure they can put on from different angles. First half coming to a close. We got Cam rolling. Didn't feel like pulling the trigger on that one. Just hung on to it. Ravens led the league in takeaways last season. I'll have to do some more research on some of this stuff, especially as I try to get prepped for fantasy here, drafting in a couple weeks. Two players I absolutely love right now for fantasy that I want a ton of wherever I can get them. I want David Njoku because I feel like he'll be really good value at tight end, which is kind of a lower ceiling position. Tight end tends to be very volatile and unpredictable. And some of the top options have injury issues. So I feel David Njoku in that offense, he's a great fantasy value. And the other guy I want a million shares of is Doug Baldwin, because I feel like Seattle's now in a tougher spot defensively. Russell Wilson's going to have to do a whole lot more. And Baldwin's really their only, I would say, solid wide receiver. With Lockett, you have a good deep threat. And then Brandon Marshall, it's hard to be confident in him right now. So I want all the Doug Baldwin I can get and all the David Njoku I can get. I also want Kirk Cousins to be my quarterback. Why not get Alvin Kamara? I think it's not that I don't want like Alvin Kamara. I think he's going to go really early. And I know last year Kamara, he had a lot of long plays and he didn't get a lot of touches. I think his touches will go up this year, but I think the long plays go down a little bit. I don't know if I'm going to end up with a lot of Kamara because I think he goes it depends what running backs he's going before. Because I wouldn't take him over Zeke, David Johnson, or Le'Veon Bell. But after that, maybe? I don't have a list of running backs in front of me, so I could be leaving off people. But I think that rookies who have these breakout years tend to go really early, and they're earlier than I usually want to take them. Has Kane ever won a fantasy league title? I did many years ago. In the league I'm currently in, I think we've ran 3 or 4 years. I've made the championship a couple times, and I've gotten destroyed in both of them. I've been on the wrong end of some big blowout games. I was in the championship week 16 a few years ago when Odell Beckham went off for like 38 points. And I know like Trey Mason had a big day that week, and I had to go against all of that, and I had no chance. Oh yeah, Gurley. See, I would go Gurley over Kamara too. Especially because with the Rams, there's no one to take snaps from Gurley that I have to be worried about. Royce Freeman, a sleeper. I got a couple problems with that, but I like him as a bench player. My main thing is their offensive line isn't very good. And until we know how the whole offense is going to perform, I don't want to get all in on a running back. That's why, partially, well, I guess it's different reasoning, but I know I'm a Rashad Penny fan, but I am not a fan of him in fantasy this year or any running back on the Seahawks because they have too many backs and their line is too bad. I feel that's going to be like even worse than the Patriots situation where they're going to get production, but you never know who it's going to be. I feel like with the Seahawks, you're not going to get much production, and if you try to pick out the touchdown each week, you're going to have a hard time. I got a super chat here from Cameron Stein. Do you think if Deshaun Watson played all season, would he have had the best rookie, one of the greatest rookie quarterback seasons of all time? From a statistical standpoint, he was kind of on that pace. I feel like the numbers overshadow some of his downfalls last year, but I feel like there was a lot to work with, but there were also a lot of mistakes. So I think he could have put up, if he played a whole season, ton of touchdowns. He was hooking up with Will Fuller for a score every week. He had DeAndre Hopkins. It was pretty awesome. I'm not sure if it would have been one of the best, but he might have broken the rookie touchdown record. I think he would have done that. He was on pace to shatter it. Hey, be nice to Dalvin. Chris Carson has a chance to take enough snaps to be relevant. He might, and I loved Chris Carson last year. But I feel that if I don't take a single Seattle running back, that it's a good decision. Because I could picture you getting like Chris Carson getting 8 touches, Rashad Penny getting 6, and then like J.D. McKissick catches 3 passes, and it's just a bunch of guys scoring 6 and 7 points, and that's not going to win you anything in fantasy. Oh! Okay, John Ross. Possession receiver John Ross. There it is, the throw. Trying to rip it out. Kareem Jackson can't bring him to the ground. The super chat rolls in from JT Golden. I know you typically like to create your own sliders, but I've played a few games with Matt 10's All-Pro sliders if you want a good place to start. I'm going to check out both All-Pro and All-Madden sets. I don't usually make my own sets. I take charters and then I make adjustments that I think I need. I've done that for years. I really enjoyed charter sets. I think we both see the game pretty eye to eye in terms of what's balanced and what isn't. So we're usually on the same page with a lot of things. Oh, Harold, I missed your super chat. I apologize. Harold asks, is there a Kalispell video today? There isn't today, but there is tomorrow. It's been recorded. The next episode is going to be against Arizona State. And the following episode is going to be the recruiting special. Although remember this year that there isn't going to be anything from Blackjack because his 360 basically fried itself. And he can no longer play NCAA for the time being. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to be one to watch. Don't miss this recruiting update because us going to the Pac-12 could be a really big deal. Darnold reminds me of Tony Romo. Not a huge arm, but good zip. Mobile, but not crazy. And a bit of a gunslinger. Yeah, he does have a little bit of that gunslinger mentality. His accuracy, he's got to pick it up down the field a bit. He doesn't need to play this well, though. We got to let Teddy start for a little bit. Play action and a pass downfield. Complete. 27-0. Oh, I'm not sure if Blackjack ever got it fixed. I'm not sure if he has a new 360 yet or what. I'll have to catch up with that. I know right now he's working on a Madden 19 draft class for everybody, so that's a project you'll want to stay up to date on. I'm sure he's going to have one of the best community-created classes. I know he had a good class in 2K. Yep, Madden 19 does have the new kickoff rules, and the new formations required actually make squib kicks really good. I'm going to show you another squib kick after we kick again, if I score again or whatnot. How much does Brady have left in the tank? I think he has a few years, physically. I just wonder how long he wants to play. You know, he and Terrence Newman are two guys who have constantly talked about like how they take care of their bodies, and that's why they're able to play at such a good level at older ages. Like Terrence Newman isn't like an elite corner, and certainly 2 years ago I think was one of his best seasons when he was 38. Now he's 40, and he's probably going to be in more of a reserve role for the Vikings, helping some of the young secondary players there. Is this Belichick's last year as a head coach? It could be. There's definitely something up with the whole McDaniel situation and what he did to Indianapolis. I feel like there's something there like, hey, stay here and you can take over for me in a year or in 2 years. They're on the board, everybody. Bill wants to prove he can win without Tom. Does he care enough about that, though? That took so long to audible. Are you kidding me? Thoughts on all the rookie quarterbacks so far? I haven't watched them all closely. I haven't even seen Rosen's game yet. I'm going to catch up on some of those things tonight and get on Game Pass for a bit. But what I saw from Josh Allen I liked. What I saw from Darnold I liked. What I've seen from Lamar Jackson's been up and down. And then Baker Mayfield, mostly good, too. I have to watch Jackson's second game. Like, there's a lot of stuff I have to catch up on here. And I'll work on that tonight. Cam. Oh, no. Just get out of there. Oh, yeah, Chad Kelly looks really good. He actually played really well against the Vikings, I thought. He definitely outshined Paxton Lynch. They're making it harder to keep Lynch as the primary backup. I'm sure for Bronco fans, that game had to have been super weird because you had, of course, Case Keenum now, your new quarterback. But the Vikings had Trevor Siemian and Kyle Sloter, and both played well. Both were on the Broncos a year ago. I was pretty happy for the acquisition of Trevor Siemian. Nicely done. Which NFC team do you think is least likely to make the playoffs again? I would say Carolina, because that division is brutal. They already have some O-line injuries up front. And with Norv Turner as the new offensive coordinator, I'm not totally convinced things are going to be smooth. And also under Ron Rivera, that team's been incredibly inconsistent. They've had a lot of playoff seasons and a lot of just terrible years altogether. So I think that Carolina takes a step back this year. And plus, they're relying on a lot of aging veterans on defense. I think they're going to have a big need at edge rusher here pretty soon. They're relying on like Mike Adams in the secondary. I feel like there are just so many other NFC teams that are more complete. Not in fantasy, Bell or Gurley. Give me Bell. Super chat from, one second, refreshing the screen. 27 Super Yankees. It's the year 2034 and you're still having trouble deciding what your Madden 19 team will be. Man, coming to a conclusion when I have so many good options is so difficult. Do you think that Rob Gronkowski will want to play much longer, considering retirement this offseason makes me think he doesn't want to play too far past 30? You know, dealing with rehab from injuries and all that stuff definitely has to take a toll on you, especially when, like, with him, one of the big issues has been his back. And I think a back injury would be one of the more demoralizing ones because that affects your whole livelihood. That affects just you trying to have, just be comfortable day to day. So I think definitely that is something to keep an eye on. Didn't Tyler Eifert also have surgery on his back? Am I correct there? I know he's dealt with some bad injuries. Loving that shirt. Thank you, Garrett. Had to switch it up today for you. I like this shirt a lot. Oh, wow, what a hit. The hits in this game are pretty fun to watch. Reasonable record for the Browns, assuming Josh Gordon comes back soon. I'm going 5-11 just because of Hugh Jackson. If it were a different head coach, I would up it probably to 7 wins. Third down and short here for Jared Goff. A lot of the same bad habits there out of the quarterback, and we're going to take advantage of it. Yeah, I do think that Washington's a good team this year. I talked about a lot of teams being good for franchise mode already. especially if you use pre-existing injuries now and you don't use Darius Geis. I feel that that's a team that has some intriguing talent. They have some good offensive linemen. They have a nice young secondary that you can work on. And then, you know, Alex Smith ain't going to be there forever. Plus, he gets to play in the East. This is the toughest year ever for deciding on a franchise team. Cam launches it downfield, and it gets intercepted. I just wanted to see how far he could get it. I mean, the Browns can conceivably get into the postseason mix, sure. It's just, I'm not going to predict that it would happen. Sometimes I want to go out on a ledge and, you know, try to have more of a hot take or a strong feeling about something that is unlikely, but the Browns going to the playoffs is not one of those things. I think that developing a winning culture there is going to take a lot more time, and it's going to take a lot more than just adding all these rookies. Although I like that they added some vets too, and Taylor and Landry. I feel that the coaching is still going to hold them back. I feel that Hugh Jackson's the wrong head coach. Greg Williams is the wrong defensive coordinator. I feel that they don't have the leadership to get it done. Be honest, Kane, do you like Madden 19? I like bits and pieces of it. I feel that it is better than Madden 18 in some areas. I'm not having the time of my life or anything, but I'm having some fun with the game. I think that once I get into slider testing mode, we'll really see, because every Madden is more fun for me when I have sliders I can play on. So Madden 18 didn't start out too hot for me, and then I found some sliders eventually that were all right. I found some other series that were fun, and I ended up having a decent lasting impression of Madden 18. We'll see what happens with this game. So we rip it away. Next Twins video. Thank you for the super chat, Derek Vance. I know I need to get around to one of those this week. What I'm planning on doing is kind of having Kalispell go tomorrow, and then I'm going to do Bears, and then I want to get to a Twins video. I would say today is what? Tuesday? Today's Tuesday. If I have Kalispell Wednesday, I would say Twins probably, it might not happen until over the weekend just because I'm doing some slider stuff, and getting the franchise done is definitely a priority. It'll be this week though. I'm going to sit down and record it. Might even be able to record that in Bears tomorrow. We'll see. I will keep you all updated though in the community posts. Launching that out there. I wanted to get to a squib kick so I could show you what that's all about if you haven't seen it yet. Who would you like to see coach the Browns next? I don't really know. I'd just like to see a good young offensive coordinator. Or an offensive mind. Maybe it's, you know, if like John DeFilippo does well with the Vikings this year, maybe he becomes the head coach there. Although he was the offensive coordinator there not long ago, and their offense wasn't very good. But neither were their players, so I don't know. I want to try kicking a field goal within 4 seconds so I can try a squib kick. I believe it'll happen. No, I need one more second. Thank you, Lex, man. You are amazing. Thank you for watching the stream. Kane needs to do one last Madden 18 video where Matt Pierre and the Black Knights face Greenberry and Cummings on the Browns. Oh, man. That would be incredible, watching those teams square off. So here's how my last All-Pro games have gone. I feel like I'm just like throwing it all over the yard, and the CPU isn't doing much. I'm just calling like cover 3 and man coverage all game long, and they can't handle those, it seems. They're not even attempting to run. I am, but failing at it. Yeah, I will share the sliders I use for franchise. I always make sure that you know what I'm using. I'm not using sliders right now. Hey, Kane, do you want to pick a franchise team this year that is going to have to draft a quarterback at some point? Or are you fine with a team that already has an ideal franchise quarterback in place like Trubisky? Honestly, the quarterback is never a big driving factor for me. I prefer to acquire kind of the pieces around the quarterback instead. I love getting running backs, as you know, receivers, DBs, pass rushers. So quarterback really doesn't play that much of a role in my interest for a team. I guess when a team needs a quarterback, it's a slight boost because it's like, I like when the game is a bit more challenging, and using a quarterback that I'm not going to stick with or using a young quarterback is different than using someone who's established. Why don't we sim a game here? I think the Vikings will drop off this year. Thoughts? Very well could happen. If it does, it's probably the offensive line's fault again. 9-2-1. Gonna switch up the music here. I think it's time for something new. We can't hear you. How is that possible? This is this is still picking up my voice. When are you starting your Madden 19 franchise? Because I'm starting mine on the same day. Should I replace Winston? I don't know when I'm starting yet. It's always kind of a wait and see approach when the game is out, because I wait for the right team, I wait for sliders, and I don't rush it because I want the series to be very good. As far as replacing Winston, definitely a tough choice because his accuracy is a problem. I think his ratings are actually pretty low in the game, so you really have a debate there of if you want to use him or develop. I think that I would look at the first quarterback class, and if I felt like I could replace him realistically, then maybe. If the class wasn't very good, I'd probably stick with him. Hugh Jackson or Marvin Lewis? I have to go Marvin Lewis. If we might go 7 and 9, and with Hugh Jackson, that might be the best we can do. I'm glad a lot of you like the shirt. I had to change it up here. Hashtag Kane on a date. If I was going on a date, you think I'd actually dress up? Are the Dolphins a team up for consideration? Absolutely. They are. Play action here, and Garoppolo zips the pass to the outside. I like that decisiveness. How do I get my third running back some carries in franchise? You either got to go with the third down back. Sorry, I keep talking through my mouth. You either got to keep someone as your third down back who isn't your regular starter, or you're going to have to just do manual subs like I do and I'll show you what I do when I get the football, as the Jaguars are off to a solid start. Would I ever do a franchise with the same team you've already used? I don't think I would right now because there are still so many teams I haven't used. I've only used like 7 teams, so we still have a lot to go. That was weird. Down and short, knocked away. I love it. Joe Hayden. Kane, I just joined and you're not wearing a blue t-shirt. I don't know if I like this. I didn't realize this was going to affect your day so much, everybody. Scoreless game. Oh, I tried to get out there. They weren't going to let me do it. Best snow game ever. Probably Vikings. Well, one that stands out is Vikings-Ravens, but they called a bad penalty in that game. There was a bad call that cost the Vikings, and they should have beat the Ravens in that game. Cordell Patterson had an amazing fourth quarter, and they ruined it all so that Marlon Brown, I think, could have a game-winning touchdown. It was either Marlon Brown or Marlon Moore. I forget. I also like the game where the Patriots scored like 63 points on Tennessee. That was pretty cool. Cam sends it deep and it's intercepted. Those plays are pretty risky this year. Maybe it's because I'm not telling Larry what to do, because I never tell my receivers what to do in those spots, because they usually do what I think they should anyway. But this year it seems like they're a bit more passive, and the DBs are ball hawking everything. I'm up against David Johnson today. Okay. Let's see what you got, DJ. If you haven't already done so, please smash that like button. I'd very much appreciate it. Oh, and there's one thing I keep forgetting to even bring it up and have a conversation with you guys. There's a new feature on YouTube, and it's called channel memberships. It's a lot like what Twitch has with their subscribers. And the feature is available for my channels, and essentially what it is it's a $5 a month subscription, and I'm not sure if it has anything to do with advertising and not having that. I can't remember that much, but there is the option to have these $5 a month subscriptions, and you can offer perks to your viewers and also have custom emotes and stuff like that in the chat. So I was wondering, if I did something like that, what do you think would be cool for perks or whatever? Is this an idea that interests you at all? I know it's a big thing on Twitch, and now YouTube is trying it out. Nice. Marcus, thank you for the super chats. Yeah, Hugh Jackson, I just don't think that he's a great head coach. He's probably a better offensive coordinator, and a lot of guys fall into that category of being a better coordinator than head coach. Oh, that was actually really cool. Will he throw it deep though? You gotta chuck it. You gotta chuck it up there. Got me to jump with the hard count, but I wish they did something with it. make the comments and videos and streams stand out for members. I'm not sure if that's a feature. I know that, like, when you're in the chat, and if you were a member, you would have a special icon like you see on Twitch, and then you'd also have access to, like, the custom emojis. Easy perk, put names in draft class. Yeah, I just need to come up with the right ideas and the right ways to offer the perks, and then they got to get approved. And I know one of the things is that they don't want you doing things that, like, say, they don't want things that not everybody would be able to get. So, for instance, if so that you have a chance to be in a series, that wouldn't be what they would want, because they want everybody to be able to have the perk, not just a chance at the perk. I plan on using kind of a hybrid draft class. It's going to have some custom players in there, but the draft class is mostly going to be randomly generated. Haven't been to one of your streams in a while. Glad to be back. Good to see you, DLC. Hoping to do, you know, hoping to have some fun ideas to stream on a more consistent basis. Like the fantasy franchise, I think is cool, but is it cool for the long term? I'm not sure. I'd love to get something here football related that we could stream all the time, that we were all into. I don't mind not having the most realistic gameplay here for streams, because I'm not paying the most attention anyway, and if I don't pay attention on, like, hard sliders that I tend to play on, bad things are going to happen. I used to, like, you know, listen to stuff or have, like, something in the background when I played franchise games quite a bit, and for, like, the last couple of years, I haven't been able to do that because my games, like, this is the pass rush I'm dealing with. I gotta focus too much. Jump passes are my favorites. Marcus, thank you for the super chat again. What do you think of those Titan unis, though? I love them. I think that their numbers should be a little bit thicker, but I feel that the color scheme is really good. I like the patterns. I just think the numbers give it so much of a college look. The numbers kind of remind me of West Virginia, but I haven't seen West Virginia's numbers. Well, I guess I have seen them lately. But I feel like if they were just a little bit bolder, that'd be cool. Yeah, I gotta update some YouTube graphics. I have worked on some of that recently. I like the one I have, but until I have, like, a better idea, I didn't want to change it. I think my Keenan Allen banner is really good. It's very amusing that many of you think that hashtag Kane on a date is a thing because I'm wearing like some random island themed button up that I found. I just thought it was cool. Ooh, YouTube banner for Let's Play idea, 3 and 43 to the rafters. That's an interesting thought, to maybe hang some banners. Not of, maybe they could be banners of teams, but they could be banners for different players too. That's a really good idea. How do you choose each play? Do you just use whatever? You know, sometimes when I'm in these streams, I kind of just choose whatever. Otherwise, I mean, it's just kind of down in distance. What do I want to do here? How aggressive do I want to be? What player do I want to try getting the football to? Just ask myself a few basic questions and then roll with it. Or if the game is feeling a little bit too easy, like some of this all-pro stuff is, I can kind of just pick whatever and see if it works. And if it doesn't, oh well, because enough plays are going to work. On the 19. Lobbing up, John Ross brings it down. Touchdown, Titans. Bengal fans, I'm hoping that these aren't the only highlights of John Ross you're going to see this year. I wish you all luck in your quest to eventually rid yourselves of mediocrity and to maybe get a new head coach. I also hope that John Ross doesn't completely bust out for you. Well, I want him to bust out in the right way, not the wrong way. You know what I mean, right? I don't like doing weekly predictions for the season because what ends up happening is I'll cheer for my picks because I want to be right. And when I've done that in the past, I'm like, I don't want to cheer for this team. I want to cheer for the underdog, or I want to cheer for this team because of this player I like. So I don't like doing like picks and tracking picks. I'd much rather pick players I think would do well. Give you some fantasy picks every week. Tipped it. .240 to go here in the half. Garoppolo. Uh-oh, in trouble. He's down. Marcus asks in the super chat, why do you think so many people hate the uniforms? I'm guessing because the design's a bit more out there. It's a bit less traditional. And the numbers, I think the numbers do play a role in it. I also feel like the previous Titan uniforms weren't bad by any stretch. I'm a fan of them. I think they look really slick. I love the use of gray. They have a lot of different colors in here. It has a lot of personality. It's a good uniform. Chris the Dog sends a super chat. Thank you. We want Daniel Carlson. Hashtag Daniel for kicker. I want Daniel Carlson as the Vikings kicker after the first preseason game. I love the whole approach with him, being the rookie, but still they let him play. Kai Forbath did kickoffs, and that was it. Daniel Carlson handled all the extra points and field goals and nailed every kick. Made it look pretty easy. I thought it was really smart by the Vikings to do that. I posted on Twitter that I'm not sure exactly what their reasoning was, but I felt that putting Carlson out there right away gave some good pressure, and it will help you find out what kind of a kicker he is pretty quickly. And at the same time, with Kai Forbath, treating him like a backup kicker, what does that bring out in him? I feel like both situations put pressure on the players, and hopefully that pressure leads to getting a darn good kicker this year. So, big fan of what the Vikings are doing there. .40 seconds to go in the half. We're going to lob it. Just kidding. Can't get the pass off. Marcus, what about the Jags? If we're talking uniforms, I like them. I like the Jaguar uniforms a lot. I wasn't a huge fan of their old set. The ones that, like, Blaine Gabbert wore. Up the seam for Jimmy Graham. It's a 23-yard completion. Touchdown, C.J. Ham. Had to go with play action here on Thursday night. I have not ever been to England, but it would be very cool to check it out sometime. Never been outside the United States yet. Chad, thank you for the super chat. Meow, meow, meow. I got people all around the world watching the stream, and we have a cat in the chat as well, it seems. How about the rejection from Amari Cooper? We don't talk about that. It's still a touchy subject. I wish we could have played them, though, that season. That would have been amazing. I badly wanted to follow up on that storyline. John Ross, here we go. Best stadium in the NFL and the worst. I think best would have to be US Bank Stadium. Only slightly biased here. And then worst in the league. Worst stadium. Vikings used to have the worst. Now? I gotta think about that one. Oh no. What is the worst stadium? It's gotta be something old and outdated. Something due for renovation or a wrecking ball. One of the two. I don't know. Thank you for the super chat, Chad. Thank you very much. First time I made it to a live stream. Thanks for the meows. Love the content. Please don't pick the Seahawks for your next franchise. Well, I appreciate the super chat very much, Chad. And I'm glad you're able to catch your first live stream here. Hoping you can catch some more, and I do more streams that are convenient for everybody. I'm still getting over how much slower the players tend to feel in this game. Why'd I toss it on 3rd and long? The world may never know. Also a terrible punt. We're just going to have all sorts of fun events here. I think Buffalo, Raider. Oh, you know what? I think I would go with the Raiders Stadium. Every time I see that dirt infield, I want to turn the game off. I appreciate all the super chats that have been sent. Very kind of all of you. It's awesome being able to come on here and make content for a great group of subs. And you're not great just because you send super chats or anything like that. I just like how positive and supportive all of you are. I like how, like, the conversations we can have are pretty fun. I love talking football, and I kind of miss making some videos that did talk about it, but I feel this is a better way to do it anyway, because there's just more interaction. I can get some more things, and I just enjoy the streaming aspect of this when I have something fun to play. Marcus, thank you for another super chat. I gotta tell you, if you do a career mode, I'd die to see Tank Tucker or Rodney Rambo again. Gotta reward your long time guys, Kane. Yeah, there's some of you that want to see Rodney Rambo. I think it'd be fun to stream some of the older stuff that I haven't done in a long time. Oh, Dalvin's not finished. Here we go. It's not going to count, but it's going to be fun to watch. I've thought about, like, if I brought back, like, a franchise or something like that, but I don't think the gameplay would hold up very well, and I wouldn't, like, stick with it for a long time, so I don't think it's worth it. But maybe a player that I didn't play with much, like how I put, like, Phillip Brooks on the Madden 12, when I put Tank Tucker on the Madden 12. That could be interesting. Or Rodney Rambo, I never finished. Maybe a Road to Glory live stream series. Didn't really think about that. Fits my second channel a bit better, but hey, they're my channels. I can choose the rules. Willis McKnight. Oh my, there's a name. I can't even remember what team I had him on. Was it like Oklahoma State? I was putting that up on Machinima Sports back in the day. That's how long ago that's been. Don't forget to do the squib kick. Well, that didn't count, but I need to remember to do a squib kick before this stream is over. What about Randy McKenzie, who had like 2 episodes? Definitely should have done more with that one. Pitching in MLB is fun. Do you think that this is Pete Carroll's last year in Seattle, and do they go with an offensive or defensive-minded coach after him? I don't think it is, but if they did get a new coach, I think it would be someone offensive-minded to get the most out of the rest of, like, Wilson's best years, because he's about to be 30 years old, which is just, it's nuts to think about, especially because, like, so many of these years have blended in together for me, doing YouTube and all this stuff. And when I started making YouTube videos, it was the 2011 season, and so much has changed since then, and so many players have been drafted who are now veterans. I've seen a lot of players in recent years enter and exit their primes. It's just wild how fast stuff works. But certainly, offensive-minded coach would be the move for them. Blake, thank you for the super chat. Dalvin Cook. Love Dalvin. By the way, I want to get some new, hoping to get some new equipment here pretty soon when I find out exactly what it is I'm looking for. I want to upgrade microphones. I feel like I've been using this one for far too long. I'm sure that the sound is acceptable, but I want to get a more professional microphone finally and a good setup for that. And I've been looking at a couple mixers and some stuff I could have some fun with for some added effects. So, also keep that in mind. I want to keep upgrading things, and I think I'm due for some new equipment. Certainly want to get a better microphone first and foremost. I feel like I could get a more professional sound, and I definitely want that. I'm always looking to add to my videos, and I feel like a better microphone might be the move. Do I think the Packers would be a good team for franchise? I mean, they're not a team that I would recommend. Like, they're not one of my favorite teams to recommend, but there's reasons to use each team. With Green Bay, the whole thing would be like, you got Aaron Rodgers, you have a few good players on offense and a couple standouts on defense, but a lot of it's incomplete. So you need to work on developing the young secondary they have. There are a lot of players there. They're going to need some pass rushers. You'll probably want to address a couple skill spots on the offense. But of course, remember, you're going to have one of the best quarterbacks in the game, so is that going to be challenging enough? Super chat is here from Marcus once again. My guy, it's Andy McKenzie, not Randy. And yeah, Rambo back would make my life and many others. Rodney Rambo. I'm going to have to do a Rodney Rambo stream. It might not be in popular demand, but there is at least demand. And I love some Road to Glory in NCAA, so might be the move. I'm looking for fun stuff to stream. I want to stream more often. I just need fun stuff to stream with you guys. I prefer it to be football related because I'm actually somewhat competent at this game, and on NBA 2K, I know that most of you couldn't bear to watch my gameplay. Love the Hawaiian shirt. Thank you. I think it's a cool look. I try my best to emulate Henry Spencer if you've watched Psych. Aaron Higdon better be in the draft class. That'd be a fun one as a late round pick, maybe. Or something. Yeah, I just want to add to my series with some fun stuff like that. You ought to retire number 3 on your channel. It's seen Anton Greenberry and Nataki Mason. That's very true. Number 3 on this channel definitely has to mean something now. Favorite quarterback you've ever drafted in one of your franchises? Nataki Mason. I love playing with him. But I will say the roller coaster ride with Cole Hartman, I like that too. Stretch play. I might even try out sliders in this series, seeing as how we're already playing it. I might try an all-pro set for the next stream that we do. I know Matt Tens was recommended in the chat today. I'll have to give that one a look. Jimmy. The original Jimmy G, Jimmy Graham. Speaking of Jimmy, anybody else feel that Jimmy Neutron had very impressive like animation and graphic quality for its time period? I think about that like once a week. I get very nostalgic now that I'm like 25 years old and I think about like all the old TV I used to watch and stuff like that. I keep thinking about that because I haven't like watched an episode in probably 15 years or 12 years or something ridiculous. I remember the animations being very good. Thank you, Jimmy Graham, for inviting that conversation. Another day, another blue shirt. That's life. Who knows what it's going to be next time? Who's your favorite quarterback of all time? Favorite quarterback of all time? Probably Teddy Bridgewater. I love Teddy. Grew up watching Dante Culpepper. I always love watching him. Currently, if I were like just like neutral and didn't have team bias and whatnot, my favorite quarterback would probably be Russell Wilson. 25, that's way too young to start being nostalgic. Oh man, it's been heavy for a while. I like it though. Chad, thank you for another super chat. Can you shout out to Will Legends? Shout out to Will Legends. Is that someone's name? Is someone's last name Legends? Forgot squib kick. I know I'm doing a fantastic job, aren't I? My goal is to get a squib kick before the end of this game. That was that was pretty comedic right there. Another number 3 to the channel. Yeah, if I did Russell Wilson, another great quarterback wearing that number. What do we want to listen to now, everybody? Sure, why not? Sky punts, gotta get fixed. Got it. What do I think of no kicking arcs on all Madden? I'm not a huge fan of it. It feels like an unnecessary element. Oh boy, there we go. Loroto, thank you for the super chat. What happened to the play calling strategy videos you were gonna make? I can still put stuff together like that. It's just whatever the topic that you guys want to see is. I think play calling is definitely something you've got to get kind of a rhythm with, and you've got to kind of understand what the plays you're calling do, so that you know if you're calling a good play or not, or if you're calling the right type of scheme. Yeah, if there was a lot of demand for something of that nature, I'd love to create some videos like that, or go through making different schemes in Madden. I think it'd be super fun. Kawhi, thank you for the super chat. Wow, I subbed 6 years ago today. Well, happy 6 years. That is incredible. Does not feel like 6 years have passed, everybody. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. How much do you think the careers of Gabbert, Ponder, Locker, and the other quarterbacks from the 2011 draft would have changed if they sat out a year? I don't know if it would have been a whole lot different, but those players really had a tough go of things, because not only were they all rushed into action, but they also didn't have the OTAs and everything, because that was the strike year with the shortened off season, and everything got abbreviated and crammed into like the month of August. But ultimately, I think those quarterbacks were just overdrafted, and they weren't supposed to be great anyway. So I don't know if things would have been very different. I forgot the squib. I gotta score again. I threw a great touchdown, and then I just like patted myself on the back. I need a touchdown. Garoppolo, let me pick that. No, I need to catch that. Everyone wants me to squib max because I said I would squib to display how good squib kicks are this year, and I forgot for like the last 8 attempts that I've been able to do it. Oh, come on. I need at least one more kick. Oh yeah, Cam was great from 2011, but he was also taken number 1. Locker, Gabbert, Ponder. No, those guys were never supposed to be. I don't think any of them were regarded as great. But that was also before there was like a more vocal draft community on the internet, so it was mainly just like, if there were opinions, they were whatever was being talked about on TV at the time. Most likely team to relocate soon. Outside of the Raiders, who are guaranteed to do it. I don't know. Is there a chance the Jaguars would still leave? They're good now. I mean, if they were good and not profitable, that would be a bad thing for them. I don't know. I don't want to see any teams move right now. Maybe the Chargers back to San Diego. That's what I want to see. Can you recover your own squibs this year? That would be pretty difficult, especially with everybody crammed toward the front line there. It would be very difficult to get past all of them. David Johnson, where'd this come from? I might have to go into practice mode to give you all a squib kick, because you're getting one. I keep blitzing here because my hope is I can get a pick 6. I'm trying to make Jimmy throw something bad. I'll take a fumble too. Lobbing it up and overthrowing. Everything is not working my way right now. Thomas, thank you for the super chat. Can you build a fort? I remember all those comments. That was like circa 2013, 2014 chat. I'm not even sure why that was a thing, but the chat has created many things on this channel, including the legend of Leon Daniels. I'm not going to get a squib kick now. I'll have to go into practice and show it to you, which might not be a bad thing. Cam sends it downfield and overthrows John Ross. Good coverage, too, by Gaines. Game over. And things have not been very competitive ever since that one game where Jacoby Brissett gave us a problem. So I'm going to try to come at you guys with some sliders next time. Even in this series, we'll break out some sliders and have some fun because I want more entertaining games. I want to have to sweat a little bit out here. This time I threw 5 touchdowns with Cam Newton. 1 interception because you know whose channel this is. David Johnson couldn't run. Jimmy Graham couldn't be stopped. John Ross, possession receiver sometimes, deep threat other times. Yes, I know when you're zoomed all the way in, you can click the up arrow when you are zoomed in all the way to switch to defensive view for career mode. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I will pick it up here in a minute. Let me wrap up by going to practice mode, showing you squib kicks, saving, and then I'll jump into what I was doing today, and you'll see what I'm talking about. Which old PS2 Madden features do you wish came back? I love the off-season training where you got to do a drill with a player and they got ratings boost based on how well you did. I loved playing that franchise aspect. It made it super fun to develop young guys. Please tell me they let you pick special teams plays in this practice. Otherwise, well, I guess you could do kickoff. I feel like this song is looping too much, too fast. What do I want to play? That'll work. I'm just going through to make sure I didn't miss any super chats. feel bad when I miss them. I think we're good to go, though. All right, so this year, because of the new kickoff rules, it just so happens that the squib kick, which remains unchanged in this game, just works a little bit better for you. So you now have 8 players within the first, obviously they're 15 yards off the ball from here. 8 players are there, and there are less players now to get in the way of a potential squib. So when you hit one of these squibs, you get past that first wave, and usually someone falls on it and you can down them at the 35. It seems to be pretty rare for them to actually be able to pick up the ball and advance it. And if you tackle them at the 35 or inside, I'd say that's a pretty good win. So squibs this year can actually be used as intended. Marcus, thank you for the super chat. Kane, if I can get someone else on the stream to super chat about Rodney Rambo, will you dig him up? That's probably not going to happen, but it would be sick. You don't need to get anybody else. I'm going to do it. I believe I still have the file. There's no reason I would have deleted it. I just need to make sure it still exists. And thank you for another super chat, Kawhi. Speaking of super chat, 6 years, gotta show love. Yeah, you show love just by showing up over the course of 6 years and watching the content. It means a lot. Thank all of you. Were you a fan of the vision cone? I actually was. I also think that the vision cone is good for creating good habits out of a Madden player, because when we play the game, it's very easy to just try to look at everything all at once and to try to see every receiver break open and whatnot, and there's no focus, and you're not creating the right habits by doing that. I feel the vision cone made you actually play more intentional, and it probably made you a better player as a result. But that was now like almost 15 years ago. Blake, thank you for the super chat. Rodney Rambo doing it for Marcus. Rodney Rambo is going to come to the channel. We're going to do that. We're going to knock that out within the next week. As long as that file still exists, we will do a Rodney Rambo live stream. We'll knock out some games with him, and we'll do a blast from the past live stream within the next week. So it's Tuesday. By next Tuesday, it's going to happen. There you go. I better write that down so I don't forget. By popular demand, or by consistent demand. It's not exactly popular, but it is consistent at least. So if I convince you that squib kicks are the move, Tuesday would be the 21st. Okay. What'd they just do to me? I wasn't even paying attention. What happened? He dove on it, got it, and he took it for a touchdown. Oh my, I wasn't even paying attention. That was pretty awesome. Kawhi, thank you for another super chat. RIP Twins franchise. No, that series is not done. As a matter of fact, I will have a video out this week. I said by Sunday before. We'll do it by Saturday. Okay, how about that? Twins by Saturday. And I also think that doing some twin streams would be really fun. I've wanted to do that now for a long time, just to get some extra games on the channel and to have something else to stream. So I think just picking out a night and saying we're going to knock out this game or maybe these 2 games with the Twins would be great. So, as you can tell, the squib kick is not undefeated, but it has a pretty good win percentage. Hama, there you are. I was waiting for you to show up. Oh yeah, Rodney Rambo. For you, Marcus. Thank you for the super chat. Hama's been banging that table for Rodney Rambo now for months. And it's going to happen. Rodney Rambo live stream. More than happy to break out that series. Now, keep in mind, I think I've talked about this before. I had recorded like a comeback episode or something like that at some point in the past. And I deleted the file sometime when I was just cleaning out old stuff because, you know, all these video files, they take up a lot of space. So I cleaned out files and I didn't label it properly and I sat on it too long and it's gone. So I think I ended his first year and I don't have the footage, but he's now like a sophomore and we can get that going. So I wanted to go into here. Someone was telling me I could keep hitting up on the D-pad. I attempted this. I will get into whatever thing I started today. It must have been this. Yeah, I think that a CFM online would be really fun. I just think that the logistics of it are very difficult, keeping everybody on the same schedule and making sure things happen in a timely manner. It requires a lot of things to be in sync, and I just don't think that I'm going to be able to get that. Kawhi, one more super chat. Last one, I'm at work. Thanks for everything, Kane. Thank you for supporting the channel for as long as you have. It's much appreciated. Glad to see so much enthusiasm from the chat. Anything coming out after the stream? Not today, but Kalispell's coming tomorrow. Kalispell is coming tomorrow, and then I'll do a stream either tomorrow or the next day as well, whenever I feel like I can get some slider stuff going on here. But here's what I try to do. I'm like, let's try out some different positions, and let's see if we can find a fun position for me to play career mode on this year. So here is safety, Tyrann Mathieu. I love safety. How is Superman Cam doing? Oh, he threw 8 touchdowns over the course of today's stream in 2 games, so I think that he's doing really well. Yeah, Hayden, I tend to wait for week 1 rosters, but because Madden comes out in preseason now, I'm not concerned about rosters. I'm concerned about sliders and entertaining games. That's all. What I need to do is like save a master roster like I did last year, just depending on when things start. Do Reggie Carter for career mode? He'd be a great option. But you know, I wanted to come in here and try out Tyrann Mathieu. So here we are. You can see I have Mathieu highlighted. I can't change it. And for camera, I'm stuck with these views. This is the new player lock camera. And I'm not a fan. Oh, one more Kawhi. Thank you. So yeah, I'm just unable to get into the view. This is what they consider the player lock view nowadays. I don't like it. Do you like Deshaun Watson? Yes, I do. Especially after the beating he took pre-draft from the media. Definitely gonna cheer for him. Hey, I forced an incompletion, and I didn't hit him in the head, so I guess it's not a penalty. I like Clemson. What about you? I'm not a Clemson fan, but I like a lot of their players, so I guess in a way I kind of like Clemson. Oh no. Like, yeah, I could still make this work, but I just don't think it would be as fun with this view. I like a more zoomed in view to play. And this is the most zoomed I can get, and it's not zoomed on Tyrann. So yeah, that definitely had me bummed out because I wanted to go and find the position I wanted to play with, and now it's like, what am I doing for career mode? Are we getting a normal franchise this year? Of course. Yes. Sammy Hollins like Clemson. He sure did. So yeah, that's where I'm at with the career mode stuff. I'm really not sure what I want to do. There are settings in here for the camera, and they are what they should be. I think it's under accessibility or something. Allow me to find it, please. Maybe it's visual feedback. Cameras. Franchise player role camera settings. Player lock is what I had on here, which normally would get you what you need. Unless something else makes it work. I'll give it a shot. We're just chilling here. I have it on standard now. What happens if I go and jump back into the game with Matthew? Yep, when I have my sliders, I will definitely share them. Don't worry about that. I'll keep you updated. And you'll see me try out different sliders too. If I fix this, I'm going to be ecstatic. What's your favorite college football team? I cheer for the Minnesota Gophers and the UTSA Roadrunners. But I'm not really emotionally invested in the college football. I tend to just like gravitate towards players I like. Try changing the defense camera. We're going to experiment here. We're going to see if we come to a solution so I can help out all the career mode players out there. Yep, I am on console. Madden on PC is a dream. Menus load instantly. I like to see how it runs on PC. It's just not, I'm not really a big PC gamer, and I'm sure my PC would run it pretty well, but it's not like I have a beastly PC. I'm due for a new PC, and I probably should look at actually building one. All right, Matthew. This didn't change a thing. I got a PBU though. And as I'm like seeing myself be so close to making plays, you know how bad I want to play safety right now for real? Birdman, thank you for the super chat. Starting my channel this week thanks to you, my first franchise. Thanks for the inspiration. Hey, good luck to you. And it can be a very, very enjoyable process. It can be tough in the beginning, but it's kind of inevitable. Just focus on getting better. Oh, this never changed. What if I just go standard? I didn't know I could change it from that menu. If I get a camera view where I'm behind Tyrann Mathieu, close like this, I'm going to be very happy. Try clicking the left stick, L3. I'm already in player lock. I can't choose anybody else regardless. Where's it going? Let's try zoom, although I haven't seen a difference yet. missing the thing. Does it keep defaulting this? Maybe it's because I keep changing at the line of scrimmage. So now it went to default zoom, but it's not the zoom I'm looking for. Nicely done. I don't know if they've said anything publicly about if they'll fix this. We'll have to try and get a response on Twitter. Noah, thank you for the super chat. I'm looking for a challenge. So what position has been most challenging for you? If you want to do career mode and you want a challenge, I think linebacker tends to offer a pretty good challenge. If you want to be a pass rusher, sometimes run defense can be difficult. Yeah, I'm kind of out of ideas for how I can fix this, guys. I'm going to turn passing cam off. Go player lock. I don't know if this would fix anything. I just don't know why they're not giving me the view that you can get otherwise. This seems like something they should be able to patch, right? Maybe tomorrow I'll try to get a response on Twitter. Because I'd really like to do more career mode, and I'd like to try some defense again. But this is no good. I think they will fix it because the camera exists in normal franchise and skills trainer, and if you return punts, it's still there. Yeah, and it's there from like play now. If you're just controlling the whole team, it's actually super fluid. You can change players in player lock mode too. It's really cool. But then when you go into actual player mode, it's like there's no focus. This is their all 22, yeah. So, I'm not going to find a solution like this. Unfortunately. Hopefully it's something they fix and then we can just do some more career mode like normal. If you haven't already done so, please hit that subscribe button. We are on the road to 200,000 subscribers on this channel. We're a bit under 12,000 subscribers away. And if you subscribe, you can hit notifications, the bell for notifications if you want to know exactly when videos are posted. And you can also see the posts that I create on my channel in the community tab. They give you an idea of content that you can see, gives you an idea of when I'm going to be streaming, or I have polls on there from time to time. Please leave a like and subscribe. Thoughts on schemes? I like the idea of schemes. I feel it's incomplete though until they offer up some coaching staffs and whatnot, but it's a step in the right direction. It is a good feature, I feel. So thank you all for supporting me and the content here. I'm hoping that next time we can test out some sliders and play some more games with our Tennessee Titans fantasy team. And I am out of here for today. So thank all of you for spending some of your afternoon with me, and I hope you have a great rest of your night. Have a great day, everybody.